Welcome into Henry's Guys, presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. I'm Neal McCready. That's Chase Parham here on this Thursday evening. Brought to you, as always, by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. It's getting cool outside. Actually, it was cold today. It's been hot for the better part of 8 years. I thought I was living back in Mobile for a while. But here came the cold weather. And if you have not gotten your heating element checked, your heating unit checked, now would be a great time to do that. This was probably a little bit of a reminder that, yes, it will indeed get cold. And if you're not ready, now's the time to get it checked out and get it ready to go. And to do that, if you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, those areas, call our friends at Comer Heating and Air, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, South Haven, those areas, call our friends at Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, 662-429-4429. We are in the Clark Ford studios. I was talking to Corey today about something involving vehicles. Pretty easy to do. Just call him, 662-257-1900. Corey always says he wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. I called him today, and I said, you're my car guy, my truck guy. I got a question. And so we started talking. You can do the same thing. He'll get you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You got your quote, and the rest is up to you. 662-257-1900. Guest join. In this case, that will be you. There are lots of guests that have joined on MPW Digital over the course of the day. Probably talk about that in a moment, but you can join this evening on the Campbell Clinic Hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111. This will be the Friday Blue Sky Live. Chase, what's going on at Blue Sky?
They are all over the state of Mississippi. They're up and down I-55. They're out North Mississippi. Also, Sweet Daddy's locations at most of those spots, too. You get ribs, you get pulled pork, get side items, desserts. Game kicking off 11 o'clock on Saturday. Maybe you want to swing on over, grab a rack of ribs, wet or dry. You call ahead. They'll be ready to go and waiting on you again with Sweet Daddy's locations, including here in Oxford with the Oxford Exxon all lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides, bread, any size fountain drinks. I got perplexed by the playoff picture up there because even the Chicago Bears were listed on the graphic, but Saints weren't. Everybody else was just on down the list there.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that stat on the Bears coach on how bad he was? Did you see this?
No.
All right. 1 second. Got it here. I didn't really. The Chicago Bears had a 71% chance to win during Sunday's game against the Packers and lost. 71.
Okay.
Over the last 3 seasons, they've blown 5 leads with a 90% or higher chance of winning. 5. The odds of losing all 6 of those games are 1 in 68 million.
Boy, that's unlucky right there.
I mean, it's like a flip of a coin. I mean, you could get unlucky heads 173 times in a row because every time you flip has the same odds. So that's all it is. Just a little unlucky.
Yeah, just a little. You should get better at coin flipping.
Coin flip just didn't work out for the man over the course of those six contests.
Wow.
Well, there is something too of having a young coach, okay, having a young quarterback, okay. But you look at the Bears, their GM is brand new and basically never done this before. Their quarterback has never done this before. Their coach, like some dude up in the operations. I saw this on the internet yesterday. Like, no one even has any experience to help out at this point. It's just a bunch of rookies running this thing, and that's not going to work. Never going to work. So,
big news in the recruiting world in college football. Bryce Underwood, the 5-star quarterback that everyone generally in the recruiting world believes is the next future star at the position. He has been committed to LSU, but Michigan has put together a free agent deal, and he has flipped.
He just loves that Wolverine helmet.
Apparently he loves Michigan, loves Ann Arbor, loves the big house. Bryce Underwood has flipped to Michigan, so he is committed to Michigan. He can sign, I think it's December the 5th.
Portal opens the 9th.
Portal opens the 9th. Exciting times.
Does 11 days before a potential first-round playoff game.
Yeah. I know I had someone today go, I bet you're excited about the season coming to an end next week. And I was like, not me. You just don't know.
Next week is not the
I mean, there's a world where, from our standpoint, I'm not bitching. It is what it is. There's a world where you are working around the clock
at Christmas.
Well, I mean, I guess if they play on the 21st,
you pick it back up on like the 26th, 27th.
You pick it up on the 26th because wherever they go, like I was already thinking about that today, like
Atlanta, New Orleans, Phoenix, or Pasadena.
Yeah. You're flying out on the 26th early.
Yeah.
Somewhere or driving. It wasn't bad last year. I drove on the 26th last year.
Did you?
To Atlanta. That's easy. I mean, I'm openly cheering for Atlanta.
Atlanta would be great.
I mean, I just freely admit. People go, what do you want them to do? Whatever it takes to go to Atlanta.
Atlanta first, New Orleans second, California third, Phoenix 4.
Is the Sugar one of the 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so New Orleans would be fine too.
Yeah.
So Atlanta.
You get Atlanta and New Orleans in that quarter round.
Atlanta, New Orleans, Pasadena, and Dallas?
No, Dallas is a semi.
Okay.
Phoenix, California. Phoenix, Pasadena, New Orleans, Atlanta.
I'd rather it be a place I can drive. Just from holiday stuff. But you'd be riding on the 23rd, 24th.
Yeah. That'd be something.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do. I don't know how teams will do their schedules. I get we're cart before horsing. They have to get in and then win a game, but
yeah, I mean, I've started thinking about it because, look,
and they win the January 1st game. It's the 10th.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in either
Miami or Dallas.
And then the
Atlanta for the championship.
On the 20th, yeah.
Correct.
20th would be a big day in the country. You got an inauguration and a national championship game. What day of the week is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. The 1st is a Wednesday.
Is it?
Is that a Saturday?
January 20th is a Monday.
A Monday.
It's Monday.
Okay.
You seem real excited.
No, I am. I'm just thinking about I've had the travel budget nightmare go through my mind a few times.
Well, there's a worst case scenario.
The Pasadena, Miami, Atlanta travel budget is
with a quarter in like Happy Valley,
South Bend, or
you could drive to South Bend.
Yeah, I've researched all the potential places. The only
you
place
would have to fly to Penn State.
You'd have to fly to Penn State.
Yeah,
and then you're flying. You got to rent a car. You got to do all that stuff.
You would drive to Bloomington and drive to South Bend.
Yeah. Now, if they're on the road, I'm
Bloomington is the
because I can get there and I can get there and get back
7 hours.
7 hours, 6 hours and 51 minutes, according to my friend on my phone.
28 Power 5 teams who have a non-animal nickname. I'll super chat a $1 for each one you name.
Okay.
I mean, I almost feel like I need to write them down.
Toledo.
Oh, Power 5. Okay.
Oh, Power 5. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing Power 5.
Okay, well, what's the fifth power?
I guess we're doing
Traditional
the whole Pac-12.
The whole Pac-12.
Well, Stanford Cardinal. It's a color.
All right, that's one. All right, so we'll start out there. So Oregon State, Washington.
Beaver, Husky, Sun Devil. So that counts. It's not an animal, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wildcats. Utes.
Trojan is not an animal.
Utes. Utah.
Yep.
This
is one where I could do it if you gave me all day to sit here and go through the conferences, but I would bore the hell out of you.
I'm doing Big 12 Jayhawks. Is there an actual Jayhawk?
The court has the animal, so I'm assuming that's what we will say that is.
Cowboys, Oklahoma State.
Yes.
Sooners, because that's a wagon.
It is. Hoosier. I know I'm skipping around.
Hoosier daddy. But yeah,
Hoosier is Yeah, Rebels, obviously. Let's go ahead and knock that out.
Knock
Because
it
that
out,
is
yeah.
sitting here
Sure.
local.
Obviously, I was going to.
Seminoles.
Crimson Tide. It's not an animal.
It's not it's not an elephant.
No.
Yes, that is correct. Demon Deacon.
Yeah.
Blue Devil.
Blue Devil. Yep.
Volunteer.
Yeah, Volunteer. Commodore.
I know it's bad pod. Probably would have spent.
That's okay. It's all right.
It's
There's
Thursday.
so much pod on the network right now that if you don't like this, there's so many things you can skip to.
You can go to something else.
I don't-
It will be.
Seminoles.
Yeah, we said that.
Oh, did we already?
I've got Seminole down.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got Seminole down.
Let
Let me go to the Red Raider.
Red Raider.
Aggie.
Yeah, Aggie.
Orange. Syracuse is the orange.
The orange is a color.
Yeah, we said Sun Devil already.
Yeah, we already did it.
We said that.
Hurricanes.
Miami. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ginger.
Let's see. What about forgetting on the top of the ACC? Panthers, no. Nittany Lion, no. I guess I'm the ACC. Shut up. Boston College is an Eagle. Pitt's a Panther. Rutgers is a Knight. Scarlet Knight.
Yeah. I'm thinking, okay,
Rutgers.
I'm doing Big Ten in my mind. Cornhusker. Did we already do it?
We didn't do that. That's good. Cornhusker is a count.
Cyclone.
That's
Iowa
good.
State Cyclones.
Good.
What did we do? Trojans?
Yeah, I had Trojans
Tar
on
Heels?
USC. I didn't get. No, I did not have. That's not the GOAT, right? We're not counting that as the GOAT. We have to call.
No, he's testing something. We're testing something for next week. So he's wanting to see if he's in eCam, if he'll be able to hear when someone's on Skype.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. How many we got left?
We're at 23. How many are there total?
27. He said.
27.
Oh, a Buckeye. It's a nut.
That's right. Did we do Yellow Jackets already?
It's a bird. It's a
That's
animal.
an animal. That's right.
Yeah.
It's an insect, though.
Notre Dame, Fighting Irish.
Fighting Irish.
Oh, Tulane. Oh, no, not Power. Sorry. This is where you really need them written down too. Where I'm like, you need like a map or something.
Spartans. Michigan State Spartans.
Good. It's a winner. Illini.
Oh, the Illini. That's right. That's a tribe.
It's an Indian. I'm kind of running out at this point. I mean, I'll know obviously when you say so and so, I'll go, oh yeah, duh. But I'm beginning to run out off the top of my head.
I'm going through leagues.
Do we have them all? Grind is at 27.
Okay,
so
then we got them all. We got them all.
Oh, Boilermaker.
Oh.
No, I forgot that. You don't have to count that one, Grind, because we missed it.
I got Cyclones.
Yeah, he got Cyclones. We missed Boilermaker.
So we got 26 of the 27. Is that right? We got Cowboys. Got it early. It was
we had Cowboys early. We had Stanford.
We got Stanford.
Earlier.
Yep.
Okay. Are we done?
I think we're done.
Are we done?
I think we did it.
Okay. That was better than I would have anticipated.
We handled it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wyoming doesn't count. It's Power 5.
Yeah.
I bet Wyoming feels screwed. Like they don't count in the election.
Oh, actually, yeah, UCF, because now they're in the Big 12.
Oh,
the Knights.
The Knights. That's the 27th.
Because that's Bearcats, Cougars, Knights, the new Big 12 teams.
Okay.
Yeah, Houston, BYU.
Yeah, we got
Cincinnati.
We got Sooners. That was easy.
We had Sooners.
Had Sooners. Knocked out the Oklahoma schools pretty quick. Cowboys and Sooners.
Thank you, Grant. It was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, we had Syracuse. We got
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning is on every commercial known to man. And he was on the CMAs last night.
I did not see the CMAs, but I did see he was going to be on the CMAs. I did see that.
When I finished with Pete, I went downstairs and Laura was watching the CMAs, and there was Peyton Manning. He's just everywhere.
His pocketbook's probably doing all right.
I mean, I'm not hating.
No,
I'm just
no.
saying he's just everywhere.
He has been able to continue his Q rating beyond football.
Yeah. No, he's done a great job of it. Because a lot of people thought he'd be a football robot that after football would have to stay in football, and he really didn't.
No, it's funny. Breeze has become that guy.
That's constantly football.
He just had an inability to kind of like transition into anything.
Yeah.
Was bad on TV.
He didn't have as much personality as Peyton, though.
No, not at all.
He was more corporate.
It's gotten lost in the Brady thing, but Romo's been good this year.
He has been.
Romo's been really good this year.
I always thought Romo was pretty good. I never bought all the Tony Romo sucks stuff. Yeah. I always thought that was bogus.
Tupelo, I've never heard of the band, the Red Clay Strays. Not a single, nothing.
No.
You're going to lose me on music fast. It's a weakness of mine. I'm just not going to know it.
I'm nowhere close to the music scene thing.
Yeah, you guys have posts on the boards all the time about music, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
What we do have a lot of knowledge on is there is a ton of podcast information. I'm actually finishing the final edit on the audio version, which I'll never understand, but it gets lots of listens. Pete's Pigskin Preview.
Watch the video.
I mean,
you need to see the graphics.
But there are people that are like really anti-YouTube. I'm not doing YouTube. Yeah. And I'm like, but why?
But why?
I don't really understand it. And they're like, well, it's just you guys talking. I'm like, not on that one.
No.
Pete just does a lot, but it's soon to be up in podcast form, and there's a lot of it was good. I thought it was excellent. Will be up in podcast form here momentarily. The Butcher versus the Dance Instructor is up in both video and audio form. Greg Jones, Caroline McCready make their weekly picks. They go into this week separated by just one game.
Oh,
you'll be surprised. One of them picks Florida. One of them picks Ole Miss this week, and it'll probably surprise you as to who's who, which probably just gave it away. McCready and Siskey, episode 237 is up as well. MPW Digital Extra, about 2.5 hours. A lot of football. Michael Bratton joined. Edgar Thompson covers Florida for the Orlando Sentinel. I know known Edgar for a long time. He joins. Nick De La Torre, a podcast host in Florida, one of the big Florida Gator podcasts. He joins as well. And then Ben Mentz for his weekly visit from Barstool Sports. Taped Mind on My Money with Martin Palomo this morning, and Chase and Jeffrey and I taped Blue Sky Live earlier this morning, talking about
games for the weekend, all the stuff,
playoffs and stuff.
Yeah,
we've done the playoff thing so much this week that I'm like, I feel like it's on repeat. I don't really have anything to add.
No, I mean, even at the end of Jeffrey, I was kind of going, yeah, well, okay. Grind, thank you for following through there. How many would you like with all the traffic coming through, or like just in a Buc-ee's and I'm in there by myself? What's the situation? Because that would probably change.
Is that you, Grind?
Yo, it's Grind.
What's up, my guy?
Oh, man, just enjoying another Thursday that the Lord has made, man. Enjoying the show.
Hey, I'm sorry about what happened to you. I saw that in the thread that someone called you the N-word. That's a horrible thing.
Oh, did you not say the rest of it?
I did. I saw the rest. I was setting it up. I mean, she has no right to call you that. That is absolutely wrong. That is wrong.
Honestly, because what I've done, I've kicked out a couple sports podcasts for some, more political and I guess more cerebral podcasts. And, one, they had I guess like a psychiatrist or whatever on talking about basically communication. And they were basically just saying, hey, if you said, if somebody said the N-word, what does your mind automatically go to? And, it was just talk about how, we're wired and how, we're, initially your mind isn't going to think that. You have to be programmed to think that, and it's just about how mental programming, just real interesting stuff, just stuff like that. So that's kind of where that came from, along with the dude that like I said at work said the joke. So I was like, that's pretty, that was pretty funny. So
yeah, that is real funny.
So man,
I laughed because when you first said it, I was like, oh, that's horrible. And then I read the rest and I laughed out loud. That was funny.
So yeah, man, looks like you guys it's smooth sailing to the playoffs, man. I mean,
if it's not, boy, it's gonna be a rough.
I'm hearing the hotel's got some spotty internet grind. I saw in the reviews with Travelocity or wherever this morning that sometimes around 3:00 it gets a little funny on Saturdays.
Listen,
I don't know.
If that thing goes bad, your boy might just go, you know what? We'll do a show in a few hours. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Carson's soccer game. I'll peace out. I mean, that might be where better. I just might run an ad on the thing. Go betterhelp.com/MPW. Good luck.
That ain't. I mean, I'm telling you now. I'm landing on Ole Miss, man.
I am too.
I think Fiske might sweat that over, bro. I think he might sweat it because I'm not taking any unders with teams that feel like they got to run it up to get it in. I'm not even finna play that game with them. Because college football is just a dumb game.
That's where I am too, and I think Lane isn't going to leave anything to chance. I mean, he's worried about that Kentucky loss. It's clear he brings it up all the time. I think if he gets. I don't think it's personal, but I think if he gets a chance to put a 50 spot up, he's going to do it. I don't know if they can, but if he gets a chance, they will. And I use this example. I know for an absolute fact that Lane really likes Sam Pittman, like really likes the guy a lot. A lot.
Mm-hmm. And he hung 63
put up 63 on them. They were throwing the ball. They were slinging it. I mean, they finally stopped.
I mean, even with Simmons, they were throwing it. Yeah, it wasn't like he was handing the ball off.
I mean, they finally on the last drive went, oh, screw it. Here, let's hand it off a few times. But they put up 60-something first. So I don't – and then, and their defense sometimes when they get a big lead, they don't like in the second half. I mean, Arkansas scored 3 touchdowns in the second half of that game.
They get a little lax.
They get a little lax. They know the score, and people kind of start – I don't know. I'm not saying they're protecting themselves, but they lose some intensity. So if you told me that game went kind of way over, I'd buy it.
And my thing is with boys, I think and it's not just because I'm not gonna say that. Part of it is because Auburn sucks ass that I'm not watching the rankings reveal. But the other part is bro, they just do whatever they want to. I think they're trolling the hell out of everybody by putting Boise State at 4th. I think they just went in and said, you know what? Let's just give them something to talk about. Boise State at 4th. I think there is no way in the world. No way. Once I saw that, I said, "Oh man, they just playing." I'm not even watching until the last one. It doesn't even make any sense because they're just playing around now.
I think it was Chase today. I told somebody, I can't remember. I've talked to a lot of people. That they get to kind of play it straight for a couple of weeks. Maybe it was Tyler that I told. By the way, he says he's not sweating the under. I told Tyler or somebody, they get to be straight for 2 more weeks, right? Because they get to this week, go, well, Indiana's undefeated. We're going to put them in the 5 and show how virtuous we are. Boise is the best group of 5 team. We're going to put them in the 4. Look how virtuous we are. We really love the little guy. And then there's going to come a moment sometime in that weekend in December where the TV people go, hey, you know that check we write? You like that check, right? Here's what we want. And I'm not saying that they're going to get exactly what they want, but they're going to get something close to it. And
they got a seat at the table.
Yeah. And so I just –
with armrest.
I just think – and I've already heard rumblings about this, that there's some SEC teams that are like, hey, we go 10-2 and don't make it, there's going to be some hell to pay. This is not going to be a happy time. And at the end of the day, I mean, Sankey's job is very similar to Roger Goodell's job. And that's you're the face. You take the heat. You do a lot of the media stuff that nobody else wants to do. But at the end, At the end of the day, your job is to take care of the member institutions and make sure that everybody gets theirs. And at the NFL level, that's pretty easy, right? I mean, you do all the public stuff, you suspend, you do this, you do that. But at the end of the day, it's make sure all the owners get their checks. That's your job. And as long as you do it, as long as the owners get their cash, you're their guy and they'll pay you a ton of money and you live the good life. I just think when this thing comes to fruition, when it comes to a head, my money is on the Southeastern Conference playing bully ball until I see them lose. Like if you tell me that Indiana, like if I'm the Big Ten, I'm just a rambling answer, Grind, but I've been thinking about this a lot. If I'm the Big Ten and I want to protect Indiana this week, I am calling holding on Ohio State over and over and over and over. I am not letting Ohio State run away with that game. Because I'm just telling y'all, if everybody looks at it and if it looks like a duck and smells like a duck, they're going to call it a duck. And if they get beat 42-7 or some stuff, they're not making that damn field. They're not making it over a 10-2 Tennessee, a 10-2 Texas. They're just
that's why I disagree.
And you might be right. And here's the great.
We have no evidence.
Here's the great part, right? Yeah. Is there's zero data for me to Grind back in 2022, and there's no data for you to go, well, let me tell you, Neal, what happened. No, it's never happened before. They've never seeded a 12-team tournament. So you might be exactly right, and I could be completely wrong, or vice versa. We don't know right now.
That's a hell of a precedent to set. That an 11 just forget, who they played. Just on face value, an 11-1 Big Ten team doesn't make it. That's a scary precedent to make.
Oh, I get it.
That is
just I don't agree with
these
that.
damn unbalanced schedules, and then
and a strength of schedule of 105, 106,
and that's where the Big Ten is different, because everybody want to get on the SEC about not adding a conference game. But honestly, for the Big Ten, it did like this faux prop up of the Big Ten because what's the difference in between going to Northwestern instead of hosting Eastern Michigan?
Nothing. And here's the difference in the two leagues. I mean, we sit down here in the SEC and we say, I give you a couple of examples. We go, boy, Arkansas is not very invested in NIL. If you put Arkansas in the Big Ten, they'd be one of the most invested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if
you're
in the room, you look at South Carolina and you look at the schedule that they played and who they lost to and how they lost and who they beat and how they beat them, and you go, if I put South Carolina in the Big Ten, they walk into that league as a top 3 team. Because I think South Carolina would whip Penn State's ass. I've watched both teams play 3 or 4 times.
South Carolina would be Big 12 champions, hands down.
They'd run away with the Big 12. They'd run away with the Big 12.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Now, here's my only thing with the Texas schools arguing. My only thing is, and this is why I think Ole Miss, Alabama, and I know it kind of doesn't, apply to Georgia because they lost to Ole Miss by 3 scores. But I think more so, maybe, and like you said, they've never done this before. And you could be right. This could go to your Indiana argument to where I think what's going to separate the teams is your bottom. Like, what did your worst look like? And A&M went on the road and lost by 3 scores. I think teams that lose by 3 scores are going to have a hard time. Like, I understand, people, y'all kind of hammering the Kentucky loss, but honestly, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I think as the season goes on, I don't think, the fact that Ole Miss lost by 3, I think you would rather have that Kentucky loss than to say have lost to Georgia by 21 and beat Kentucky.
So you're making my point, right? Which is like, let's take Ole Miss as an example. Yeah, the Kentucky loss is egregious. It's awful. But they have an 18-point win over Georgia. They have a 25-point win at South Carolina. They have a 32-point win, I think is my math, at Arkansas. They have a 12, 14-point, whatever it was, win over Oklahoma, a double-digit win over Oklahoma. They've got these games like this where –
And optically, if you win on Saturday, it looks better because of what Florida did to LSU last week.
Yeah.
Optically.
Yeah. So, I mean, realistically, Arkansas is going to beat Louisiana Tech. That's going to make them a 6-win team, which makes it a quality win. In the eyes of the committee, 6 wins and more is a quality win. If Florida beats Florida State, that's a quality win. They need Oklahoma to win a game. I don't know whether they will or won't. Probably won't. Might beat LSU next week. That'd be a quality win. Whatever the case may be, but they've got these wins to sort of overcome how bad the Kentucky loss was. If Indiana in this world gets beat 4.5, 5 scores by Ohio State, what do they have to balance that out?
Yeah, and that will be the thing where, you know, that kind of goes against my argument for keeping them in at 11-1 to where their floor just looks like, God dang, like you can't even see the floor when they, like if Indiana, to credit to Indiana, there hasn't been a week to where they haven't shown up and we've seen their floor.
Yeah,
so that's credit to them.
They might go win the game in Columbus on Saturday. They're going to get a shot. I don't think they will.
Ohio State's line's beat up. They lost the center now. They already was at another lineman too. I mean, this is not a Buckeyes team that's just flawless.
But if you know, and Indiana does, that the eyes of the nation are on you, and you go get skull drug.
Yeah, you can't get skull drug.
I think it's going to be really hard for the committee to look around in the room and go, well, it was just one day. Because that's when Tennessee's going to go, so you're punishing us for one drive against Arkansas? That's what you're doing.
Yeah. We
beat,
lost to Georgia in Athens.
We beat Alabama. We went to Oklahoma and won. I mean, we did these things that you know, at the end of the year, Vanderbilt's what's Vanderbilt right now? 6 wins already?
I think if anybody gets screwed, it'll be A&M. I think A&M gets screwed. If you tell me everybody 10-2, I'm gonna bet on A&M getting screwed.
But if A&M 10-2 grind, they go to the SEC title game.
And see, that's where I'm like when people are saying that, hey, the game, they say the game's not gonna hurt you, man. That's just like when your girl say, hey, you don't got, you know, if you forget to bring me flowers, I won't be mad. Shit, you try that if you want to. Well, A&M can go out there and lose their game if they want to.
Oh, you talk about precedent. So let's play this out. Let's go. A&M beats Auburn. A&M beats Texas. A&M goes to the SEC title game, plays competitively, and loses by, let's call it 7 points to Alabama. Okay, 28-21.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in? Because I'll tell you what, if that's the case, Greg Sankey at SEC the next meeting, it is not going to be a pleasant time when people are like, hey, dude, you need to cancel this championship game. We don't want to play it.
Especially with this A&M. I mean, I hate to say it. You know, it's like when you stacking up brands, A&M, Texas, Tennessee, yeah, and then they got 3 losses. It'll be easy to push them to the side. Yeah, but A&M's gonna be out.
Would Texas be in at 10-2 because A&M just beat them a week earlier?
And see, but here's the thing: if you on one hand, you can't give Alabama a bye for saying the game means something, and then not punish A&M for saying the game doesn't mean anything. So I think
would Texas get in because they just beat them to go 10-2 in the regular season? And if you'd offered A&M, hey, you can. Yeah,
I would. You would have Tennessee, and then if last spot between Texas and Texas A&M, then yeah, it'll go to Texas.
But here's the problem:
it'll have to games have to mean something.
Okay, but
the games have to mean something.
I mean, I get it, but here's the problem: the only reason that Ole Miss isn't going to the SEC, and I'm not saying Ole Miss belongs there. I'm trying to make a point, is because Ole Miss on the schedule played Mississippi State.
Yeah,
that's literally the only reason. Well, that's stupid. And so you're punishing A&M because
if Ole Miss beat Missouri instead of State, they probably are in Atlanta.
The way the tiebreaker would work, they would be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
My only thing, if I'm in the community and people are on me for dropping A&M below Texas, I'm just gonna say, the schedule matters, y'all. Schedule matters. Like everything matters. It matters. And y'all, like, we're not gonna boost Bama from whatever they are to the 2 seed and keep A&M where they're at. We're not playing that game. I'm not gonna do it.
You might be right. I don't know. I don't know. I would not want to be Texas in that scenario. I really wouldn't.
And then this is where you're right about Lane Kiffin, about this, about the whole pro model. Because imagine if there was a committee to decide the NFL playoffs, the NFL playoff committee. Oh my, I mean, could you imagine?
Think about it. I mean, chaos. This
Bills or Patriots, baby. Well, they've got to win. But they lost to the Jets. They're out.
It's idiotic.
And before I let you go, man, I started watching college basketball because Auburn's good. But dude, worst officiated game I saw. I'm praying it doesn't happen to you tonight. Wisconsin versus Arizona. They shot a combined 87 free throws.
Whoa.
87 free throws. Yes.
That game took 2 hours and 35 minutes.
The final score was 103-88, and there were 87 free throws shot in the game. So, Neal, I'm praying and hoping.
Thank you.
that you do not have to sit through that. And I'm gonna let somebody else take over the phone calls, and I got Ole Miss beating Florida 38-13.
What do you have at A&M? What do you got in A&M Auburn? Out of curiosity.
I got like 22-9, like a bunch of field goals, and then A&M gets like a pick six or touchdown late to make it like it's probably like 16-9, then 22, 23-9, and then that's the ball.
He was going to pull it off Saturday?
No. I think they're like, and this is what I like. See, this and I was right, yo. And it's not just for Auburn; it's recalibrated everywhere. Rock bottom for the fan base is not rock bottom for the people who are actually the big money people. And it's totally different. There's this whole schism, and like people aren't seeing things eye to eye. Yeah. It's interesting for failing programs, but that's another call for another day, man. So I'm gonna get off the air and keep on enjoying the show.
Appreciate it, bud.
Thanks,
always.
Thank you to OxyFresh, MSAL, Mississippi, Alabama. He says, good luck on the run, Chase. Safe travels to Gainesville Road Rebs.
Yeah, LSU. I mean, we were already talking about this all week. Thanks, by the way. I might need it. Yellow jersey. Back to the Jerry DiNardo losing Bryce Underwood, coming off the week that they have had. I mean, this is ripe for chaos on Saturday night in Death Valley. I mean, just
and Vanderbilt's just going to show up and play.
I mean, rolling out the yellow jerseys on the same week you lose Underwood and everything else. Yeah, I mean, this is so stupid.
Tough. Have upset fans.
Kona was frustrated. He's very mad about the yellow jersey. Very mad.
Hey, who do we have?
Cole from Houston.
What's up, man?
He said they're basically Missouri now.
He said LSU's Missouri.
He said
now.
You've lost your brand identity. You're not iconic in any way anymore. You're basically Missouri.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Winning friends and influencing people at this point. What's up? How we doing?
Doing good. I've got two questions for y'all. First one is, with the new imbalance of scheduling, could y'all see a scenario where teams hold off one conference opponent until they know, one non-conference opponent until they know who their conference schedule would be? So, for example, Missouri this year had a terrible schedule. They need to go 11-1. So if they could have foreseen it coming, they might have scheduled, Ohio State or a good team to give them another quality win. And then if you're a team like Florida, who has this really hard conference schedule, you play nothing but cupcakes because your conference schedule will get you into the postseason. What are your thoughts on could we ever see that happening?
The latter, at least pragmatically, makes sense. The first one, what the committee is showing you is just win the games. It doesn't matter who you play. So you're better off to play, frankly, as many cupcakes as you can, and you're normally going to get the benefit of the doubt as long as you have the same amount of schedule. That's when we like Missouri going into the year, though, right?
As long as it holds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, as long as it holds.
Because in 2 weeks, they might kind of change.
But that was one of the reasons why we liked Missouri and Ole Miss in the preseason was they avoided so many other teams on the schedule, and you went, 10-2's in. That's all it takes. Just go 10-2, and you'll not fall, and you'll figure it out. But like Florida, I mean, Jesus. Here's the thing, though, low-key. Florida's got a terrible schedule, but it's all in a row. I think on the totality, Oklahoma has a worse schedule than Florida. And Georgia having to go to Texas and Ole Miss and play Tennessee in that run there. Like, they didn't get any favors. And Alabama. I mean, Georgia had Texas, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Bama on the schedule.
Yeah, my only rebuttal, I guess, and I use rebuttal in air quotes, would be, let's say Missouri had won last week, and it held on against South Carolina. They'd still be 10-2 and have no real path to the.
They have become,
unless chaos happened, they had no path to go to the playoff. Yeah. Whereas had they been able to schedule, I'm just throwing out a team, Notre Dame. Not that Notre Dame necessarily would had the opening, but had you played Notre Dame and you got a win there, now you could go 10-2 and you have more quality wins, possibly get you in the postseason.
In hindsight, sure, but that working out from an availability standpoint would be next to impossible. And I mean, Missouri lost all benefit of doubt because of eye test, because A&M just beat the hell out of them that day.
That's
and then
why Indiana's big.
Yeah, and they literally look that they, even with record, they lost out because they just looked so dominated in that game that everybody went, no.
Texas A&M looked pretty dominated in Columbia, South Carolina.
They did. Quite.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, just a thought I had while I was driving home from work today. One more question, Chase. And I know this is probably not the topic y'all had in mind for today, but if I were to put the over/under for SEC baseball wins for Ole Miss this season at 9.5 conference wins, would you go over or under?
Over 9.5. No, I think. Look, I'm not. They're not. I don't think they're going to host a regional or something. But I think they're better because they're going to play much better defense, and their defense was abysmal last year. Not to go Moneyball, but they lost a lot of games because of relief pitching and defense. They're going to be better in some of those areas. Now the league is even better. So I don't know what to do that. But if I'm setting an over/under on Ole Miss, I'm more like 12 and a half, something like that. Yeah,
so if we go over, we're in the tournament.
Yeah,
13's right? 13, 17.
13 is 100% of the tournament this year. Period. Yeah, because they're going to have the first weekend too.
And you think the pitching coach is what makes the wheels turn here? Is that he's going to make the pitching better? Or
I think he is really good with a couple specific sets of pitchers as far as what they do well. I think he's great for Riley Maddox. I think he's great for the kid from Tampa. I think that he does bring a lot of analytical tools. But what benefits him the most is if Mike just simply separates and becomes a GM and a manager and gets out of the way a little bit. So, yes, it's some things that Mangum has done well. But it's also just a completely different management strategy that you need now in 2024, the way it's set up.
Mm-hmm. Good. No, well, yep. I appreciate taking my call, and good luck on the marathon this Sunday, Chase.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, you have a good one.
Yeah, money line off Vandy at 9.5 is not a bad idea.
It's my pick in McCready Siskey.
Yeah, I like that.
Vandy.
Yeah.
I got it at plus 230.
Ooh, that's pretty tasty.
Yeah. I mean, I like my chances.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, LSU's on quit watch.
I mean,
doesn't mean that they'll lose.
I mean, and you pull the white back out and just wear your normal suit and move on.
Too late now.
So yes, sir.
Jersey, so Vanderbilt will wear white because yellow will be a home color, right?
It's a good question. Maybe they get Vanderbilt to wear black
and go
just
yellow
for
and
the contrast.
black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Matt from Brandon.
Hey, what's up?
The Moscano, the LSU freakout is probably one of the funniest things in the world right now.
Well, I mean, I can tell you that Matt is making bank on his freak out. So I know people I know people think that that's completely genuine, and it probably is to some degree, but it is a strategic freak out.
I don't care if it is real or not. It is so funny that is such a big topic of conversation for them. You're not even winning. I wouldn't care what uniform you're wearing. You should be more worried about if your guys are actually going to show up and play.
Well, I mean, it's been a continuation. I guess Matt knew it was coming, but I mean, for Whiskey and Wine, they've been bitching about some stuff like this all season. I mean, They hammered the politician for bringing the tiger in last week and having the different tiger
'Cause
run
it wasn't
around
their
and the
tiger.
whole thing, and it just
It wasn't.
It's looking.
it's actually. I mean, the show is what it is. Like it is what it is. You like it, you hate it, you hate watch it, you do whatever you do. You want to lick the tears. I don't know. It's up to you. But there is a level where Matt is making so much money that he just stops because he does get visibly uncomfortable at some of the antics in the comments there. And you can tell he's like, oh, God, we have to get back on task here, but just the money.
But here's where that market's different, is that in a lot of markets, and Moscona gets really negative when it goes bad. In a lot of markets, that guy doesn't survive in the market. Hello, I'm Mobile. How are you? He does, though. That's where that job's different. And I'm telling you, turn it on. If it goes bad, listen to the crowd. They'll turn on them. They'll show turn on them. It
will be like Rocky in Moscow. They will be pulling for Vanderbilt in the fourth quarter.
Yes. It gets weird. It's a different deal. I don't know that Brian Kelly's got the skin for this.
Oh, I don't think he does.
I can answer that one.
That's a job for a tough guy, or a guy that's
guy like Eddie O,
kind of goofy. But he melted down when it got bad.
Les handled it.
Yeah, Les is goofy.
Les handled
it. So
he
kind of handled it. And Nick is just him.
It's Nick.
Yeah. But I've watched a bunch of guys before that growing up in Louisiana that they were not. I mean, Curly Hallman didn't win there. Jerry DiNardo was awful there. I mean, those were not horrible football coaches. They won other places. They got there, though, and it just didn't. There's a lot of politics there. There's a ton of media. Most of the media is Homer, but they'll turn on you, and once they start turning on you, they turn on you in droves as a group, and it gets rough.
All right. Well, I got one more question. I got two more, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Have y'all heard anything about this? FIU is interested in Charlie Weiss for the offensive coordinator.
FIU or FAU?
FAU. I don't remember.
He is. The Athletic today called him a front runner for the FAU head coaching job.
Right.
Is what was.
I will pay for him to move if he takes it. Jeez.
Well, yeah, because every bad play Charlie calls and every good play Lane calls. So that's science. Like that's how that works.
Just anything other than Weiss. I mean, gosh, the last couple of years have made me miss Levy so bad.
You've got, like, in all honesty, Charlie may need to get away because he has, and I'm not making fun of you, he has zero ability to get credit here. It is literally impossible.
So what was that day in Fayetteville when they went for 63? Was that all on the, that was just Lane?
No, it's like Hugh. Lane called plays
Lane called the plays that day?
Yeah. He got pissed off, threw him out. Fine.
I mean.
He is a front runner for the FAU job.
Please, I'll pay for him to leave.
I've heard a name here. I'm not going to go there, but I have. The reason I think there's some validity to it is I have heard a name. I've heard a name here to replace him.
Will Hall?
No,
Derek does have a couple years left to get pension. I think full.
It's not Derek. No, Will's got something else lined up. I think it's not that.
All right, and then my last thing is. This is kind of my biggest concern for the thing. I know we need Trey back long term, but does it not worry anybody else that they might just try force feeding him again and bog down?
It was a valid question Neal asked last week on the press conference.
I mean, I agree with him. I mean, that's talk about your biggest concern as a fan is watching is, the guy's amazing, but when he's out there at times they force feed him, trying to get him involved. And everybody in the world knows it's coming. I'm
going to believe a fully available Trey Harris when I see it.
Did you not see the practice report last night or the injury report last night? It said probable.
I did. I saw it.
Neal is got it nailed here.
Don't it 3 times on Monday.
I don't care if he says it.
The injury reports mean nothing. Lane has shown you that all year. He's doing that just.
He might have actually told the truth on this one. For some reason, I thought this one was the first time he was just kind of locked in and didn't play a game.
It could be. I'm not being critical. I'm not.
Probable doesn't mean that Trey won't take 3 snaps. It just says play. It doesn't say go start and play 68
I said
plays.
I will believe a fully available Trey Harris on Saturday when I see it.
Okay.
And not a moment before.
So if I told you over under 8 snaps.
I don't know.
What would you guess? 8.
I'd probably go.
Who plays more offensive snaps, Trey Harris or J.J. Pegues?
You're being a jackass. Pegues.
Okay. I agree.
I just, that's my biggest concern going down the road is just they force-fed him at times extremely, and it became very predictable. I mean, for the fans in the stands, everybody knew what was coming.
They were simulating a run game. I mean, they've done other ways to try to simulate run games now, and they've had to be more creative in the process. What they were doing was using RPO as run games there with Trey.
All right, over under 2.5 carries for Logan Diggs Saturday.
Under.
Yeah.
Under. If he has any kind of good team behind him that's telling him legit stuff, they would tell him not to try to come back this year. Not off a knee injury like that.
He's been at practice.
He's been doing more this week.
Per multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I would have a hard time advising a kid to come back after a knee injury like that, because if he gets hurt again, his career's done.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically. And what's worth more, being healthy and playing next season and possibly moving up in the draft, or coming back and being the third back on a team?
Who's the first and the second, and what order?
I mean, okay, if shown, if legitly, if Jones is healthy, they'll probably play him instead of ahead of Bentley, and then it will probably be Thomas and then Diggs.
I'll say this one: more carries on Saturday, Jordan Watkins or Matt Jones?
Jordan Watkins.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I mean, what if that was your kid, you wouldn't tell him to come back. I wouldn't tell my friend to come back from that.
I have no idea where he is in that process at all.
Yeah, I just don't know. There are, like, who was the receiver at Alabama that was out? He was back running at the combine 6 months after an ACL. It's just a different.
Who was that?
I can't remember the dude's name, but he was good.
Yeah.
I mean, just different guys are different ways. I just don't. I mean, look.
6 months. Okay, 6 months and running in the combine, running in a straight line, not taking any contact is. Yeah. I think it's a lot different than going out and playing a football game and getting.
Oh, I do too.
Pummeled.
I mean, I'd be quite reluctant to advise my son to do that, obviously, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that they have MRI'd the heck out of it, so I would at least hope so. I'm positive of it. So we'll see.
All right, thank you.
Jameson Williams is who we're talking about. Jameson Williams, who's proof yet
not all the same.
We're not all exactly built the same. You'll get your dose of that lesson on Sunday.
I just hope I'm feeling okay. I've been doing strategies in my head depending on how sick I am or am not on Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. I wanted it to be. We'll see.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's Steve in Greenville.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, just something I've been curious about. Y'all do all these ads. Y'all ever get anybody that y'all just said no to?
Yes.
Yeah. Typically try to believe in products. I mean, in all seriousness, like you're not. I mean, there are people that are just absolute no's.
Multiple no's.
Yeah, I had a guy 25 years ago. I sold radio ads, and we had a guy at an adult bookstore kept wanting to buy ads on a conservative talk show. I mean, he was offering like $10,000 a month. I mean, we had to tell him.
Tell him to holler at us.
And
is he still around? I'm kidding.
I mean, look, we had about 6 months there where G&M wanted us to do generic Viagra. We knocked that out. So I mean, we've had moments, but
I mean, the NFL does that the whole show. I mean, Remember the bathtubs?
Cialis.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
advertise that all the time.
No, but we've had. I mean, honestly, knows from the start, and then knows once you get into business with somebody. I mean, you hope that it makes it good for everybody that has an ad, and just for you guys, if we either believe in it or believe in the people behind it. It's not just completely live and let live.
All right. Two more things real quick. Neal, your show, the dance instructor,
Yes.
my niece has fallen in love with it. Her teacher makes the kids pick every week who they think is going to win, and she just follows your daughter's advice.
Oh, how about that? Caroline's hanging in there. A game back. She's feels like she's about to make a move. She picked the Rebels today. Greg went with the Gators.
He's emotionally hedging, is what Mr.
He's very
Mr.
nervous.
Jones is doing. Yeah,
he's very nervous.
And one more quick thing. This is just a lighter note. A friend of mine's son just graduated from Annapolis. He bought a $3,200. The guy bought a $3,200 bottle of whiskey to celebrate his son's graduation. Hands the bottle to his son. His son pours a Coke and pours the whiskey in the Coke.
Oh no. I mean,
drink what you like now.
Yeah, that has limits.
He could have slapped the kid. But anyway, I just thought I'd call and
although
about the dance
if you get through Annapolis and you graduate, and you want to pour a $3,200 bottle of bourbon,
yeah, you deserved it. You earned it. Whatever you would like to do,
because that stuff's hard.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Talk to y'all next week.
Thank you, Stu.
Bye.
Well, the big thing I can tell you is that you need to try to sleep, which I know is hard for you, but you need to try to sleep.
And tonight is the big sleep night because tomorrow
you'll be in a hotel.
When I'm getting kind of late and I got to eat. Because I'm landing kind of tomorrow night. I still got to get food. It'll be
tomorrow night's an important meal.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm probably not in bed until 10:30 tomorrow night.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you go eat a meal.
Yeah, I already know what I'm doing. I've got that figured out.
Yeah. Carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
within reason.
Yeah, you don't have to load up on carbs.
That doesn't mean eat 2 pounds of pasta.
No. It just means eat a pretty balanced.
Yeah. So that matters more tomorrow than the next night.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hydrate like crazy. I mean, I'm taking a bunch of element with me for sodium and stuff. Because like I said, the temperature is ticking up a little on me. It's bothering me.
It'll be fine. You've been running in much hotter.
Well, that is certainly. I went and looked. I was comparing temperatures, and I ran the 16 and 76 degrees.
You're fine.
That was a sauna.
What is it going to be, 60?
Mid to high 50s at the end.
No, you're fine.
It starts at like 40, I think.
You're fine. The one I ran in Chicago was 52. You're fine.
Yeah, awake at 10:30, but that's Eastern time. I mean, it'll still be 9:30 Central when I get to bed. But I'm ballparking about 10:30 tomorrow night is bed.
Well, and your big thing is you need to sleep.
Well, that's the hard one.
Saturday morning.
That's the hard one. But I have nothing to do other than get over to the expo and then get to the the game that starts till noon my time at that point. So that's okay.
Yeah. Just gonna watch the game in your room, right?
Oh yeah.
They must have changed their mind.
Grind. I have a time in my head if I'm completely healthy, but I'm concerned. I've got some congestion right now. My throat is bothering me. How I feel is going to completely alter what I'm kind of having in my mind. It's definitely just completing it at this moment.
You're gonna be one of those obnoxious people doing the rockets.
I mean, I hope not. I do. I mean, I do spit a good bit. Like I just kind of get in my mouth. I do kind of like whatever. Gun time is 7 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. I think what my goal if I'm feeling sick is I've got a pace group in my mind to go get with and stay with for 10, 15 and then kind of see where we are. And if we're bad, then we'll just deal with it. And if we're not, then we might try to go a little.
You're
But I
going to
think
drop
that's-
back with the 5s.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
have in my mind is pace the first 10 to 15 with that group and see what happens, and then go from there. Because like I said, I was a little congested and kind of had some nasal stuff going on for a little shakeout this morning, and my heart rate was up a little because of it, and I was just kind of in the cold. That was good today. I was glad the temperature was down to
Yeah.
kind of simulate a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was kind of I was just having a hard time kind of getting breaths a little bit. So we'll see. I don't really. I mean, I have said this, and I know some people have kind of made fun and said it's a cop. I don't care how long it takes. Like, I truly don't care.
Mm-mm.
If I go into complete hell mode and I have to walk the last 5 miles, then I'll just walk the last 5 miles. It's fine.
A lot of people are saying you're overthinking it. Until you've done this, and I've done it, you will overthink. I overthought the first one to the point of paralysis.
It's making me want to do another one where I'm healthy. Is what I'm doing. I'm getting pissed off. Is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is we're getting close, and I'm going, okay, well, where's next year? Where are we doing that one at?
You will discover when you're out there, it's not a competition.
In any capacity.
Nobody where you're back running is competing.
We're all going to high five each other when we're done and go, hey.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Nice job, guys.
everybody back in where you are,
Yeah.
where I was,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
pretty focused on just themselves.
I don't know about reward meal because I don't know how I'll feel. Neal can get a test for this. I may not have some huge appetite that night, so I don't know.
You will.
Will I?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I will do that night. I have no clue.
The myth is that you get off the course and you're immediately starving.
And
That
that's
is
not true.
At least for me, none of the 4 times that I get off the course and
Eat something, hydrate, maybe take an element.
I drank a couple of beers.
Did you really?
I did. And then I soaked in a tub and took a nap. And when I woke up, except in Duluth, there was no tub to soak in, which was probably a good thing because the shower was agonizing. But I took a nap, and then when I woke up from the nap, I was really hungry. Like, really hungry.
What did you eat that first marathon that night?
A bison burger.
Oh,
And wings.
in Chicago.
Yeah. And then I walked back to the hotel and was still hungry. And I never, you know me, I never do this. I got a big bag of peanut M&Ms.
Oh, I mean, you burn plenty of calories.
Oh, I
It's
wasn't worried
okay.
about the
Yeah,
calories.
it's all right. You'll be fine.
I had walked or run by the end of that day. I had walked or run. It was like 31 miles.
Yeah, I mean, the step count will be somewhere around 55,000, I think, something like that. By the time you're done,
Yeah, I don't remember the steps.
yeah, something like that.
That was a lot of steps.
Philadelphia is I don't know. I guess this is for both race, but it's 32. Somebody said 32,000 people.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. That's what I heard.
I can't remember what Chicago.
Now
was.
the
It was
half
just
is the day
packed.
before. It's just us marathoners on Sunday.
Oh okay.
The half is with the 8K on Saturday.
Oh, that's good.
So that
helps.
helps.
That'll help
That thins the crowd.
because most of the people are running halves.
Yeah, so that will benefit from a race standpoint at that point. Like I said, the first half is really all over town. Apparently, really fun. A lot of people,
Mhm.
and then the back half is an out and back that is pretty desolate. You're just kind of out there by yourself by the river.
Okay.
Said the wind will be a pretty fierce off the water a little bit out there.
Oh really?
Yeah. So you'll get it face and then at your back one way or the other. I don't know
Right.
which way. Yeah.
I'd rather go ahead and get it over with. Than
Oh,
my face.
there's no doubt. Yeah. But overthinking is 100% where we are right now, from what we're packing to what we're wearing to everything.
But once you
I am
get going-
completely in my head.
Once you get going, you'll stop thinking.
It's kind of, I'm ready to go. Like at this point,
Yeah.
it's just let's go ahead and
Yeah.
get.
You'll
with
enjoy
it.
the scenery, and then you'll get to a place where you just go do your thing. It's okay.
Then you'll hate yourself for a little while, and then it'll.
Yeah, for a little while, but not long. That part's not long. You begin to realize that you're going to get.
I'm guessing like 18 to 22.
Oh no, it's before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's more like 10 to 14, 10 to 15. Where you're like, this is stupid. I still have a half one to go, and I'm tired.
Oh, that is a good point. You finish the half and go, well, that was cool.
Yeah, you get to 18, 19. You're good. You know you're done.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
Only 8 to go.
You don't even think about it. You get to because once you get to 20, you're like, okay, I'm in the 20s.
Yeah, it's a 10K now.
Well, you start talking to yourself. How many times have I run 5 miles?
Mhm.
How many times have I run 4 miles?
Yeah.
And the answer is like a gazillion times now. And
Did
so
you ever feel like, not that you were not glad it was over, but like when you got done, you went, that was almost kind of fun at the end. I could have like,
Yeah.
that sucks that I'm done now in a way.
I sprinted the last 2 miles of Duluth. I mean, I don't mean like full sprint, but I mean, I was like striding past people. I felt great. I could have kept running.
Jared said he had a half in October, got a stress fracture on his foot, PR'd, felt great at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, it just hurt later.
You got a steroid shot, right?
I did.
It'll kick in.
I'm medicated as much as I can be.
Yeah.
I've been taking vitamin C, zinc.
Yeah, it'll kick in.
So it's all right. We're handling it. It's okay. Like I said, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, whatever. I can't control it at this point. I've done everything I can do. That is where we are. So
You get some Rocky music on your thing?
I put a couple. So I run the podcast. So I had saved 2 or 3 podcasts intentionally that I really want to listen to for now.
Yeah.
So I'll have those. I'll definitely start with those, and then I have a little bit of music just in case late if I just need something to change it up.
Yeah.
And apparently they play the Rocky music with local bands throughout the course.
Oh, okay.
So I've been told that toward the end I will get Gonna Fly Now and all that just simply because that's what's playing as you're finishing up.
good.
So there's that.
That's good stuff. I like that music.
Yeah, I think that's the Bill Conti soundtrack will be full blast there toward the.
Yeah, I had to be careful
the
not
end.
to put that in my playlist because that might make me go faster.
Oh, it's probably not the worst idea. Like the last half mile or so. Go ahead and
Yeah,
get
why
a
not?
little going.
Oh, you'll see everything in the last mile. People being silly, people getting emotional. You'll see everything. Some people
It's kind of unfair to really out of shape people like me. We have to run 2.5 times more than the Kenyans have to run. We're out there almost 3 times the amount of time they are. I mean, it's not really fair.
I mean, it's not fair, but
Speaking of built differently.
yeah, I mean, I hope you get to see them because it's wild.
Well, a lot of the expos have the treadmills set up at the world record pace for you to get on and just try to even keep 5 seconds of pace at their speed. You can try to run it for as long as you can. I would be worried about falling on it, like
Yes.
screwing up my damn ankle the day before the marathon because I'm trying to run some 2-hour marathon pace up there.
Of course.
Because I'm doing math, that's 13 an hour.
I mean,
I'm not keeping that long.
No, I have taken it that high before just to see if I could sprint that fast.
You can go
Once you get there, you can go for a couple minutes or whatever. But boy,
not 120 minutes.
no.
Yeah, I looked. I think 209 won it last year, maybe.
Yes,
208, 209.
That's moving pretty good.
Something like that. Top 10 was like up to 214. I think you had to be like 214 to finish top 10.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about those guys.
The whatever the marathon association is, like gives it like a 91% on a PR type course. Like it's a fast course overall, even though the hills are out there. But I don't really know what they mean by hills because we have a lot of hills. So like, is that like what I'm used to as a hill, or is that people who are running really, really flat considering something a hill? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see when we get out there. Oh, I bet they do sell a crap ton of cheesesteaks after the marathon.
Yeah,
Everybody getting the cheesesteak for the meal.
absolutely.
Pick your
Where you get the free meal like that.
yeah,
absolutely.
Just go grab the cheesesteak and have at it. Because I did read somewhere they have there's hardly any options in the recovery area. Like they said, don't even worry about trying to get
You
the
won't
food in there.
want food
Yeah.
there. You're not gonna feel you're gonna run that much. Then you're gonna stop, and you kind
And the
of
stopping is when it tightens up.
everything kind of gets tight. You're not hungry right away. That's a myth.
Drink, go to the room.
In Chicago, they give you a beer.
Oh,
And
really?
Me being the lush that I am, the people that didn't drink,
You
I was
took
like,
theirs
hey,
too?
I was like, can I take your coupon?
So you got a couple beers, went back to the room.
Yeah, I had 2 or 3, and then went
Yeah.
back to the room.
Okay.
Took a bath, soaked, took a nap.
And then we're hungry.
I woke up like famished. But I did not lay down for a nap. And
What did you eat before the race? What was your pre-meal?
I never ate a meal before a race.
Oh, you never ate anything at all?
No, I always ran on an empty stomach. I did a goo or whatever.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've tested all those. I'm
because I didn't want to get nauseous or whatever.
They've got some bars that I have tried because I tried to match some of their hydration stuff. They've got the bars that they have on course are essentially goos just in bar form.
Yeah,
and I have tried those and they're okay, so I could grab a couple of those too. I mean, I'm taking some goos, but.
All right, so do they do the water Gatorade thing?
It's water and noon or whatever it is, new something. It's. They said people were saying be careful because it's very sweet.
Okay, that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
So it's not like what you get out of the store.
It's concentrated differently.
It's really concentrated, and you should try it at some point. But if you notice it's thick and sweet, and it even remotely begins to stop,
Yeah, I had read that where they said be really careful because it is very sweet.
Because the second marathon that I ran in Chicago, the Gatorade was different and it was hotter, and I kind of got sick. That's what made me. It wasn't anything other than that kind of starting to flow around where you're like, oh, I don't feel very good.
Yeah, NUUN.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
That's what it is. And apparently there was a lot of threads going, no, do not hammer that every single one.
Yeah.
They recommended doing goos without sugar and then taking a lot of water instead of that, except for occasionally, because it was gonna hurt your stomach.
Yeah. Been there. Been there. When you start seeing people get their stomachs upset, you're like, ah, damn it.
So that's fine.
Because you watch people throw up and you're like, okay, this is going to happen to me, isn't it?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That will screw with you mentally a little bit. Of
course. Yeah.
Like your guy that just fell down.
Just dropped.
Was he okay?
Yeah, he cramped.
Oh, it was just cramp. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but he totally locked.
So I think we talked about on the show. I mean, that's what, Mark Etheridge said he finished and tried to go the college baseball rider. He went faster, and when he got done, he realized he had torn a hip labrum. He ran like the last 6 miles with a torn hip labrum.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. But at the time, his body was doing such stuff, he just thought, okay, I'm hurt, but whatever. So ran miles with a torn labrum.
Ill-advisable.
Not my jam.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Brad. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good. I just want to say thanks for all y'all do. Man, y'all get me a long way down the road every week. I drive a truck, and y'all are my life during the week.
Well, appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Where are you at now?
Just went by Talladega, headed home from Augusta, Georgia.
What were you dropping?
Office chairs out of Hayworth, out of Bruce.
Oh, okay. Didn't see that coming.
And then I'm bringing back some type of plastic pallets back to Eupora.
So you're finishing up tonight?
Yes, sir.
You're headed all the way
done for the weekend. Yes, sir.
Same week or what?
No, like I've been up to Iowa for the earlier part of the week. I run out and come right back home. I'm not one of them true 2 or 3 weeks gone at a time truckers.
I'd lose my mind on the 2 or 3 week thing. I think that would. I would just. I'd go crazy.
Miserable. And like Neal, I relate so much. You talking about missing boys' soccer games, but like that NFHS network is it's a good deal.
Yeah.
But I can.
Yeah, I hate when I can't. When they stream them and you can at least see it, it's good. Yeah, that's nice.
One other thing, y'all was talking about the expenses. I actually got a load to go to Omaha during the Ole Miss World Series, and people was talking like $400 or $500 rooms a night. Like, I mean, I don't know how people can do that. Are you talking about what, a family of four to go to a playoff game, $5,000?
Oh yeah, 400 or 500 even in Omaha was cheap. You would have jumped on that if you could have seen it. I mean, some of the downtown stuff, you're looking 1,000, 1,200, whatever. Way up there. Well, I mean, hell, in Oxford, do the weekend with the 3-night minimums. Start putting the math together. Not cheap. A lot. You price out a large section when you talk about having to do it in that way. And doing it fast. I mean, a playoff game, you know, literally a week out. They have to win for it to even matter. Not like you're getting the Southwest early bird special back in April.
I mean,
Yeah, I stayed at the casino at Campbell Bluffs in my 18-wheeler, and I heard people talking there at the casino. I was like, wow.
I have stayed
a lot of money.
That is a Hilton Garden Inn attached to the casino in Council Bluffs. I have stayed there.
Ameristar, yeah.
I have stayed at that hotel in 2014. I stayed there until Louisville got eliminated, then moved downtown into Louisville's team hotel once they were out. That was in 22. I moved like 4 times. Like it was because you only stay as long as you think they could get eliminated, so you keep just re-upping after they win or do whatever because you're trying to save on the loan deposits.
All righty, well, that's all I got. Thank y'all.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
Drive
Thank
carefully.
you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the guy sending the message from Athens to Greece or whatever, he wasn't expecting marathons to take hold all those hundreds of years later.
You got to think he was running pretty hard.
Didn't he die?
Yeah, he wasn't
That's
jogging. He was probably,
He was not trying to make sure he just beat the 6-hour cutoff or whatever.
And he
the hell
probably
it
didn't
is.
have hydration stations throughout.
He didn't know sodium was important to make sure all the salt stayed.
He probably had not trained with proper footwear.
Oh,
I mean, you know, probably wasn't wearing dry fit.
the Brooks are a little better these days.
A little bit better than the Brooks he had back then.
Yeah.
And he wasn't stopping. He didn't have water every 2 miles.
It's about every 2 miles, give or take.
Until the last half, it's every mile.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. They're trying to make sure you.
Yeah, they don't want people to die.
People who are paying to go do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, typically the people that get in trouble are the people that only have water and don't get some electrolytes in them.
Yeah.
That's actually the biggest concern if you're worried about something.
Yeah. And they'll have fruit and stuff. I mean, if you feel terrible, they'll have stuff.
Yeah.
Berries and
Bananas.
and the like. Yeah.
Apparently, that's the story.
Yeah. The first dude died. But he did finish. He got there. So he got his medal.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the message being delivered? Do we know?
I think the British are coming. Something
I mean,
like that.
it was war related, I'm sure.
I'm sure it was war related, yeah.
We learned a lot. Paul Revere wasn't running. He was on a horse.
He was on a horse.
He didn't go, "Hey, I'm going to run
No.
to Yorktown, to Boston and deliver this." Yeah, Batesville room's going 400 plus. Yeah, no, I mean it's incredibly expensive. Look, the hotels around the freaking marathon are doing quite well this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
They'll jack that bad boy up on you in a hurry.
Yeah. You booked yours a long time ago, right?
Yeah. I got in a little early, and then it's a Hilton property, so I was able to use some discount stuff off that. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You could have some saucy nugs Sunday night.
That does not feel like the appetizing choice
Got
that you would be
flavors.
making.
Take them up to 11.
Yeah, we would.
You get
100%.
Get the spicy ghost pepper.
Oh, God. I mean, look, your buffalo is awesome. Your honey barbecue is really good. Your ghost pepper was fine. Maybe the most unappetizing thing would be running a marathon and then having to do the garlic parm. Like
Yeah,
those,
it'd be rough.
that was like that wasn't ideal. I thought we had a football game. Who's playing?
Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Is that Amazon or whatnot?
it is. Always.
Yep.
You got tip and
20 minutes. Isn't it 20 minutes? They start at 7. I mean, I'm obviously going to be late to the basketball game, but
Yes, therapy is also an option. BetterHelp.com/MPW. I mean, it is my favorite social media meme or bit or whatever is when they show the marathon and the caption is "How to spot midlife crises." And it's everybody running the marathon. It makes me laugh. It's not wrong all the way.
there's worse. You could go on like a drug bender.
I am running in the Brooks Glycerin 2021s, maybe. I forget the year. I think 21. But it's the Brooks Glycerin. They still have a lot of support, but they are way lighter than the beast I was running in.
Yeah.
Those bad boys.
Too heavy.
Tanks.
You don't want to run 26 miles in the beast. I'll hear you coming.
It really
Yeah.
just got along. When you picked them up side by side, you were going, oh my God, I've been running in those for a year.
Like weighted shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm the most casual of casual marathoners. We were not going to spend the money on some Alpha Flies or something like that. That was not necessary.
No.
I didn't need carbon plates in my shoes for Sunday.
It'd be cool though.
Yeah. Oh wow, you did it in 4:48, not 4:52, because you had the carbon plates. Woo!
Yeah.
You finished 9,275th.
You get the shiny medal. Yeah.
It's got a working bell in it.
I think I finished 10,000th and something in Chicago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That really
like,
puts it into context.
There was like 4. I mean, but I was like in the top 30%.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the majority of the people finish well after 4 hours.
Yeah. The average time in these is like 4:50 something, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was like 10,000 something out of 40,000.
Okay.
I was like,
and you were just over 4 hours.
I was pretty proud of that. Yeah, it was 4:03.
Yeah. Oh no, that's damn good. I mean, I no prayer. Yeah, I think they paced people all the way out to like 5.5.
And I drank the night before.
Yeah, I will not. No
I
way
did.
in hell.
I was like, well, I mean,
You said that you had beers or wine or
I had
something.
a couple of beers and a glass of wine.
I wouldn't sleep. I literally would not fall asleep.
Oh.
Alcohol with me.
Well, I could
just
barely
can't.
sleep. I was up 1:00 in the morning. That's why Ole Miss played the 8:00 game. I helped y'all cut photos and stuff. I couldn't sleep. I slept 2 hours.
Grind points this out. The world record for not sleeping is 11 days, 25 minutes. I've read some stories on that dude in that situation. It's nuts. He went into hallucinations. Like his body started shutting down.
Yeah.
Because you can't prove that he wasn't having like these like 2-second micro sleeps because it's just been 11 days. I mean, your body literally.
Right.
I
have no interest in that record.
It's like, God, what is putting these two topics together, what is the woman, Courtney DeWalter, what's her name? The long distance woman. She's the number one like ultra marathoner in the world. It's Courtney something, starts with a D. She talks about how she runs without sleeping and has the ability to go days and just keep going and keep going. She's hallucinating so bad, she literally is seeing creatures in the woods or on the trail with her and just knows it's not real and just keeps going. Said literally she'll see monsters and shit while she is running because she's hallucinating that bad from a lack of sleep.
It's not healthy.
It's not ideal.
No.
It's
I mean, I don't go, oh, cool. Good for you. I mean, I hear that and think, I think go to sleep. Go take a nap, Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney DeWalter, DAUWALTER.
I mean,
yeah, first person to win Western States 100, Head Rock 100, and the Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc in the same year. Actually, it's showing here. I did not know this. It's showing her alma mater, the University of Mississippi.
Oh, yeah?
No shit. It says University of Denver, University of Mississippi.
How about that?
Yeah, somebody update me here because she's fascinating. Anybody know her? Let me know. Like, her stuff is nutty. She ran the 100-miler in Colorado at altitude in 26 hours. Do that math at altitude in your head.
Mm-mm.
That is that is more of a bitch than you think it is. She did the Mount Fuji 100 in 19 hours.
Wow.
You're just going.
Yeah.
Like you're
running,
just-
literally running all day.
Western States 115.29. Wow.
That's incredible. That's basically
Now that is
it's basically 4 marathons.
at under a 4-hour clip.
Oh yeah.
And it's trail. It's not like you're just running on roads.
Yeah.
You're in the damn mountains.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Knox here. He says there are other hobbies. Agreed.
It took her 57 hours to run the Moab 240, which is 240 miles in Death Valley.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to stop and take a nap in Death Valley. Wake up with a pit of rattlesnakes.
That's good. But there are other hobbies. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like we all take something and then push it too far into idiocy.
Could she not just collect baseball cards? I mean, what was the? She couldn't go fishing.
I mean, you really don't want to be that obsessed, do you?
No, I mean, she could have picked up piano or guitar or something.
And Moab, by the way, is in Utah. It was a different race than the other. But
Oh.
either way, sorry.
Same difference.
Yeah, it was 240 freaking miles. No matter how you want to slice it.
You don't want to lay down in the desert and take a nap.
It looks pretty desolate looking at pictures. Yes, it's in the middle of the desert. That is correct. Slick Rock something park.
Fastest speed for a car ever recorded was 763 miles per hour.
You can't put somebody in it because they wouldn't be. They'd have like the force would kill them, right? In a car.
I don't know the answer to that.
Master's degree in teaching from the University of Mississippi in 2010 while participating in the Mississippi Teachers Corps.
Huh.
Who knew?
Not me.
Had no idea. No, you didn't know she existed before 10
I
minutes
did
ago.
not. I did not.
Well, I mean, Tom Cruise got to Mach 9 or 10 or whatever in Top Gun. So, I mean, it's doable.
He does do pretty cool stunts and stuff.
He does.
I give him credit.
You don't buy the theory that he actually died there and the rest of the movie was a dream? That he died at the very beginning when they went Mach 9 or 10 and no one can live, so the rest is just his purgatory?
I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Courtney DeWalter is not obese. That would be very, very low body fat.
Yeah, the mental picture I have of her is quite thin. Like a piece of legal paper.
Oh, God.
I was not concerned about her weight.
No. Okay.
There's Cleveland. Been to that stadium. It's a cool stadium. I actually like Cleveland. People make fun of Cleveland. Every time I went to Cleveland, I really liked it.
I mean, they got Jameis.
I've got Cleveland in the points tonight.
You took Cleveland?
Uh-huh. Got 3.5. It's bad weather. Russell Wilson's terrible in cold weather. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Our boy here needs to get some rest. I've got to go cover a college basketball game. Pray for good officiating. Please pray for good officiating. A let them play kind of game. We will have a post-game show on Saturday. I will be hosting it from here. Chase will join from Philadelphia. We'll have Jeffrey, Brian. Tyler will not be with us. He'll be at the Clemson game with his family out in South Carolina on Saturday. But we'll have post-game show. We'll have coverage at rebelgrove.com. There's a lot of content up on the site. I'll have a Saturday setup piece up tomorrow. And we have a lot of podcasts. The Butcher versus Dance Instructor, MPW Digital Extra, Pete's Pigskin Preview, our Blue Sky Live from earlier in the day, Mind on Your Money. There's a lot there. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're going to Gainesville, be safe. And we will talk to everybody again on Saturday afternoon. Again, our thanks to the fine people at Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating for sponsoring the show each and every week. Thanks to all of you who called in, who participated in the chat. Have a great weekend. Talk to you Saturday. Until then, take care.